NIO's in a big spot, guys. We have seen stock price break out of this very nice structure with a tight trading range within the apex. Since then, volume pressure has increased. We mentioned NIO is very, very bullish. We have rise pretty nice since then, coming and filling these previous gaps which stock price has left. Now we're in a spot where we're sitting in a pocket of consolidation, potentially gearing up for that next movement, guys. So that being said, my name is Dylan. Dylan's Trades, guys. We're going to get straight to this technical analysis breakdown. First, get over to the weekly analysis. See the broad bird-eye perspective. We're looking at the weekly analysis on NIO stock price. And, within the last few updates, guys, over the last month or so, we've really mentioned how we just love the look of this strong double bottom, which gave a lot of upside potential after we bounced from this structure with a nice descending trend line pushing us down within this level. And, we really love the look of this, guys, as once again, we're getting that same descending trend line, squeezing stock price 2 notches below, double bottom as structured down here, but, really just giving that bear trap X structure, guys, right? The bears think we're breaking these massive swing lows, showing a lot of volatility coming up, right? Break, and they're hoping to break and retest, but it's just another tight range to break out. So this gives us a lot of potential, just knowing that, the sellers are not going to have any opportunity for quite some time. And we have rose from these 380 levels to as high as this 523. It has been about a week or two since we made a NIO update. So with that being said, as of now, we are seeing some rejection since our last update. We have rode all the way up to the top of this ascending trend line, and we have rejected. And this is very, very abundant on NIO, guys. Stock price is in a very big spot where if we break over the top within these massive structures and get the close over this, we should be pushing, arguably, guys, this other major swing low. I mean, there's a lot of upper price action levels to get to, right? This is a very respected level where we got a strong double bottom, held at this level, gap down. Notice how once we gap down, the buyers actually grinded all the way up and filled this gap, and then we got shot down. So there's a lot of history within these swing lows, and this can be a long-term price target, guys, if we can close over the top of this channel. As if we take a one range movement within this channel and take that to the breakout, this perfectly coincides with that. So I do believe there's a good chance, guys, we could be pushing, which should line up exactly with that psychological $7 level, that hard number. It is good to see that line up there. That gives it even more confidence in these concrete data points too. So with that being said, as of now, just looking at the weekly analysis, it's very much in the air. You got to love the signs that we've seen pushing into this level. Previously, when we had this strong double bottom structure with this descending trend line break, we pushed up top of this channel and broke over. It was short-lived, definitely, a bull trap, some reminisce, but when we close over this channel, we've seen a big movement in 30%. So we're looking at some big price action that can occur. Even if we just get a mirrored movement within this and flip bearish in a bull trap, we're still looking at a push to, 650. So there is a lot of upside on the table here, but historically, the stock price has once again rejected at these levels many times. But once again, we have this descending channel, which we mentioned over here, this descending trend line. We had the same setup here, guys, with this strong double bottom. So, history often does repeat itself, guys. I do think we get over the top, but looking straight on the weekly, nothing else. It is very 50-50 as of now. If we close over this candle wick high, it's very likely this uptrend continues and we see nice price action. Notice how over here, we even had a mini descending trend line in play over here, guys, and we hold this level with consolidation with this, with these wicks on top. Right when we close over the top, guys, we see upside. Very similar to this setup as of now. If we close over these wicks, we should see that continuation, perhaps pushing to the $656, $7 level. So if we close over the top, guys, we'll be monitoring this as the weeks transpire. And we see some nice price action, guys. You could make a really good argument that we go and push these major swing lows up here, being at that rough $7 level, the exact $7 level. Alrighty, guys. So with that being said, we're now in the daily analysis. So each one of these candlesticks represents one day within price action. We have 5 times the candles and a different perspective within stock price. Straight away, guys, on the daily analysis, it's good to see volume pump into NIO here. It's nothing too crazy, but if we see this upside like momentum with this kind of volume profile, you'd be pretty worried here, guys, because we've seen some euphoric price action. Once again, we mentioned we're incredibly bullish on the break over here, guys. We caught this one a day late. I was actually watching NIO for a trade within this tight region. I missed it, guys. Rookie mistake. But with that to the side, we did see this euphoric price action squeeze until we topped out at these highs. And, Since this blow off top, we've just been obviously consolidating within this pennant structure. And it is very, very apparent, guys, that we have this very important support level on the daily and hourly analysis. This will be very clear on the hourly, I presume, when we get there. But as of now on the daily, guys, this is a strong level where, we had this breakout, we got into this tight bull flag, and then we popped all the way up and rejected this level. The next day we opened at this level and took off. We ended up breaking, retesting, holding, and then coming right back to it. And that's where we're currently sitting at as of now. So, being that this is a pretty major resistance now turn support, stock price is trying to hold, and it combobulates within this tight pennant structure where stock price makes a big movement up. Then we enter a pennant-like structure, guys, getting tight for the next movement. Most times than not, we do see the upside breakout, maybe 65 to 70% of the time, and then we break over the top, or if confirmed below these lows, we can see downside, guys. Typically, it is upside, but that's exactly what we're seeing as of now. And what's really going to break us out of this, guys, is volume. If we see another one of these strong volume days, a lot of quick price action, just like this, guys, right when we break out of the structure, notice how the volume is getting thin, and then we see the uptick. It's no surprise, guys. Perfect setups, and we should be expecting something of the reminiscence of this. If we do break over, really over this $4.90 to $5 region, guys, within this rough region, we will be breaking out. You could argue we break over, around these 487 levels a little bit prematurely, but if we get over that 490 level strong, guys, we should be breaking out of the structure, going to push 550 as, this is, once again, a strong movement up, getting tight for the next movement. If we see follow through here at the support level, we should be bouncing off the support, breaking out of the structure, and rising to the next zone. So I do believe, as of now, on the daily, we get a little bit of a different perspective. Once again, I think we look good here, guys. It is hard to say as of now, so you need to see more candles form. If we see another strong 1 or 2 days getting tight within the zone, I mean, we're looking at a really good trade, guys. We're getting really tight, a nice tight pause, retesting these major levels in the breakout. I might trade this one myself if this actually does confine to my squeeze setup. So I'll be keeping very close eye on NIO, guys. If we get tight, a little bit tighter within the next few days, form some nice tight candles, we look really, really good for that next Q4 push up, guys. Just as we've seen leg one over here, it's a very good chance to see another one of these legs pushing perhaps to $6. So, gotta love NIO here, but we do have to, understand that we are within this weekly channel. Looking on the daily, guys, you see this a little bit better. We could tweak it slightly, but you guys see the, the rough image. Stock price stays within these rough constraints, combobulating. When we get over these highs, this was the breakout. We push 30-something%. We hop right back to this channel. We hold the channel for 3-4 days, knife down hard. With the confirmation, we get knifed hard. We come up, we retest, reject. We come up, retest. So, we're sitting right at this big level, guys, and we're holding tight here. We haven't done this in a while. So this is extra momentum where, hey, if we break over this 490 level strong, we're also breaking. We're bouncing from the support. We're breaking over 490, and we're breaking this descending trend line, which will turn red. So there's a lot of data points coinciding to this level, which makes this a very attractive trade if we do see the follow through. But we need to see the follow through. We're now in the hourly analysis, guys, and once again, on every single for the pennants, personally, I like to structure my trend lines to the hourly, as they do coincide very roughly with the daily. And I just like the hourly perspective more. I think it's more accurate. So we'll slightly tweak this pennant, but you clearly see, guys, you guys remember the last video. Remember, we broke out. What's very, very nice, too, is that, when we broke out of this range and this beautiful, pennant structure, we broke and then we retest. Notice how stock price breaks this massive level with volume, comes back down, use this as a trampoline, a big resistance, and then a breakout. We entered a bull flag continuation. A big move up, getting in this tight channel and a breakout, and then again. And then after all the way to the top of this euphoric surge, we have topped out. And this is a very pretty pennant structure. And, what's clear right away, guys, is this is a strong pennant. Whenever sellers get to this level, we see a hard rejection. Once again, guys, we have a pretty nice movement up. Maybe this is the high or low. Buyers are getting long, and we get shot down here hard, knife down. But we're also seeing buyers at this level strong. So this is a very, strong pennant structure, guys. And, just understanding that we're at the bottom of this range, back testing it, we should be pushing green into tomorrow. I think, personally, we push up and we reject up the top. We come down one more time, and then we break up. That's what I think happens personally. I have seen these structures play time and time again. I have a lot of expertise within this. So, as of now, it's really what it's looking like on the daily, guys. We're getting some strong hammer candles at the support in the past that did give us a nice one-day price action, pushing us to the top of this range. I think we see that again on the hourly, guys. If we pull up the Bollinger Bands to analyze how tight so the Bollinger Bands are super, super tight, guys, but, notice how we are, pretty overextended within the short term, pushing over, a little bit extended, over the top of this, and then we pulled back. So now there's a lot more leeway for stock price to go up, but there is a good chance, just looking at these Bollinger Bands, we do see stock price get a little bit tighter and dole out. I do think we have green days coming, but, we'll see if it's a premature breakout come, the next day we just break out the wide bar. I think it's a good chance we reject the top of this range, get tight, and then break up come, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we're around that region. So we will cover this live. And, the last thing we really want to go over, guys, is that these gap zone targets made a lot of sense. When we made the last updates, guys, remember, within these regions, we noticed these very obvious gaps which have been filled, right? First and foremost, we had one here, which you remember, which we marked in the last video, and then this one. And we got right to that gap region, which we, had to be filled over here, and we kind of topped out. So this is a level we're going to watch moving forward as well, being that 511 level. Not super relevant. The other gap zone is not really too massive. So we'll delete that and do the support right here. So with that being said, guys, you're seeing NIO technically in a massive spot, right at the top of this weekly ascending channel where, hey, if we get knocked down here, guys, we could see more, downside for sure. We're all the way at the top of this range, but we do believe there's a lot of bullish signs that are shown on the daily and, hourly analysis to show that, hey, we're getting tight here with a big movement under a massive zone. If we see confirmation over 490 strong with buyer pressure to hold over that and to continue to rise, we could be reaching $6 or probably at a minimum 550 and revisiting these highs, right? And then on the hourly analysis, guys, we do think we'll continue to play out within this pennant structure for a few more days personally. I don't think we see the breakout until come at least 2 or so days, but yeah, guys, a lot of stocks in the stock market are following the same structure as of now, so it does coincide with the overall market trend. If you guys found any value in the video today, consider liking and subbing. I appreciate you guys stopping in, man. We'll cover NIO 2 times a week. So with that being said, have a good day, guys. Take care. Keep an eye on that 466 level as well. Have a good day, guys. Peace.